And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Mix It. This is from Brain Picnic. They made a small little game called Iconis, which I liked a lot, or Iconicus. This game, Mix It, is making monsters out of cards. Now if you say, have I seen this game before? Well, probably. There's multiple games where you're making things out of different cards. What does this one do differently? Well, let me tell you, pretty much nothing. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. Let's take a look. In this game, players are going to be building monsters, and the monsters are made up of 3 different parts. You have your head, your torso, and your legs. And there's a lot of cards that are the same. There isn't really that many different variations between them. So you have these different cards that are placed out here. So at the beginning of the game, you are going to draw 2 cards, and these 2 cards are starting 2 different monsters. I happen to draw the same card. That's fine. Each player has a goal card. This is the monster that you are trying to create. So on your turn, and then players have a handful of 3 cards. So on your turn, you can place a card. So I can add a card to a monster. If that monster already has, I can add another card to a monster. I can replace a card on a monster with another card on top of that. So that's one of the things you can do. You can also move a card from one monster to another monster, although you're not allowed to move the card that someone else just moved. So if I did that on the next turn, the other player can't move it back, so you don't have this same back and forth forever. Or you can change your goal. You can discard your goal card and draw another one, but you are allowed to do that once per game. If, when you make the monster and you finish it, if that monster matches one of your goal cards, then you can show everybody that goal card. So let's see if I have either of these monsters. So let's say I had this one here in my hand. He matches that one. I turn this over and I've gotten a cookie. Now if you ever manage to do that, and you have all the parts of the body are made of stars. So let's say I did the same thing, and you can see they all have a starry background. Then I can take this extra cookie, the starry cookie, and you will keep this until someone else does the same thing, then they'll steal it from you. But that's really useful because 3 cookies wins you the game. That's it. You can also play an express version where you don't have a handful of cards. Instead, you just turn over the top card and add it to a pile. And that's another way to play the game a little bit faster and a whole lot less strategy. I think the underlying fact here is the game is small, which is either a good or bad thing. I mean, for me, I'm like, well, I mean, it's small, so it's portable. It's easy to set up and play. At the same time, I wish there was kind of more there. All the monsters look really similar, and they're all blue, which is fine, I guess. I just would have preferred if they had used different colors and such. It would have been easier to identify them, and it would have added a little bit of flair to the game. As it is, the game is a cute idea, but doesn't really stand out in a lot of these. There's a lot of games out there. I mean, this game is for kids. I played it with my kids. Definitely for kids. And there's a lot of games in this genre where they can make all kinds of funky, weird monsters. Here they're making small, cute blue ones, which entertains them for a little while, but not really in the long run. And again, I think the argument would be made, but hey, this is supposed to be small and portable, and that's fine. And if that's what you're looking for, I think you'll enjoy it. But other than that, the game is place a card, move the cards around, try to make your monster on your card. You're about to make it, someone messes it up. The more players who play, obviously, the more chaotic it is because there's only 2 monsters in the middle. And so sometimes you don't know what to do, so someone will just play a card out there and hey, lo and behold, they made your monster for you. So getting the cookies, building the monsters, it's fun, certainly for kids. And on that level, I would approve it for kids. It's a lot of fun. However, I will say, I think there are other games that I would go out of my way to get first. So could have used some color, could have used maybe some more variety amongst the monsters. But beyond that, still a solid, quick, we're talking 10, 15-minute game about building your own fuzzy blue monsters. Dice Tower Judgment, approved for kids on a budget.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool Stuff, in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.
Shut the door!